The unbelievable story, the story of Professor Jeffrey Lange, that says that 7 ayat of Quran turned him from atheism to Islam. Come with me, dear listener, to dive into this interesting story, and maybe we'll find our guy. Jeffrey says that when he was 27 years old, a friend gave him a copy of the Quran, and one night he was sitting in his apartment in Damon Heights, San Francisco. At that time, he was working at the University of San Francisco, and he had finished all the books he planned to read. So he took the gift his friend gave him and started reading it. He opened the Quran. He read the first page, then the second, and quickly in the second surah, and just after 37 ayah from the beginning of the Quran, he found the story of the beginning of a human creation, and he read it quickly. It was just about 8 to 9 ayah, and he could identify some details that were similar to what he learned in his childhood. But he noticed that there's a mistake, because at that time, he didn't have an idea about the author of Quran. He thought that who wrote the Quran didn't know the real meaning of the story, because there are some unclear details. Even he didn't understand the purpose behind the story. And then he read it once and twice, just to know what the author is seeking to. And then he read it the third and the fourth time. He realized that the author is trying to reach something, because a one word carries a lot of meanings. So he said to himself that the writer must have an intelligence like no other. Jeffrey said he reached the 30th ayah of Surah Al-Baqarah, and it says, "When your Lord said to the angels, I am placing on the earth a caliph." In Arabic, caliph means deputy. The angels said, they replied, "Will you put there who corrupts and sheds blood, when we exalt your praises and sanctify you?" The God replied to them. He said, "I know what you do not know." Jeffrey says it was this ayah which attracted his attention. This is the one that made him reread again and again. So he looked at the way the ayah started. When your Lord said to the angels, I am placing on the earth a caliph, a deputy who acts according to my will. But Jeffrey said, this is not true. Humans cannot be like electoral offices. For example, God put humans on earth as a punishment for their sin, but he didn't understand the core meaning of the story. Then he moved to the next line. When the angels said, they replied, "Will you put there who corrupts and sheds blood, when we exalt your praises and sanctify you?" Jeffrey looked at the ayah again and couldn't believe the question. He certainly told himself, this question certainly expresses me as a human. Why would God create this being, and it's supposed to play a positive role in the reconstruction of the earth, when it has the ability to do very bad things that will spoil and spill blood? Dear viewer, I know how eager you are to know the rest of this true story. Wait us in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive everything new.